Now, yesterday, President Trump made a key announcement about Afghanistan and America's role in it going forward into the future. So basically, what did he say? We're not winning? Well, that would be true. 16 years and trillions of dollars later, Afghanistan is still a mess. So yeah, I would agree. We are not winning, and he said so before. Okay, so point out the obvious, right? Now, the question I think that was in a lot of people's minds, because of this disaster of war, is, okay, well, look, President Trump, he promised to do something different. He was very critical about what's going on in Afghanistan, and he considered pulling out. So is that what he's going to do? Is he going to pull out? Are Americans finally going to leave Afghanistan? Well, it turns out the answer to that is no. Nobody knew Afghanistan was going to be so hard, right? I think we all knew. So, look, I understand that there was a lot of hope for from certain people who may not have supported Trump, but saw this anti-war position and was like, oh, well, hey, man, look, we knew we were going to get more war with Hillary Clinton. I'm not disputing that. But there's a possibility of less war with Donald Trump. Well, that turns out to be, of course, false. Last night, he crushed those hopes. Making his announcement in front of a crowd of U.S. soldiers, President Trump essentially outlined his plan for Afghanistan, and guess what that means? It actually means more boots on the ground. More boots on the ground, not less. So we're not pulling out of Afghanistan. We're putting 4,000 more troops on the ground to fight the Taliban. I thought he wanted to pull out. Actually, look, again, I mentioned how that was his previous position. In fact, it's been going back. That was his previous position going back several years. In 2012, he said the war was a total disaster and we were wasting so much money. 2013, he said we should leave Afghanistan immediately. And during the election, he said pretty much the same thing. He criticized the war. We need to get out of there. What are we doing? We're wasting our money. We're not getting money from mineral rights. Again, Trump thinking about, let's just steal all their natural resources. That'd be a great idea. But of course, all of that, except for the stealing of the natural resources, he's totally in that. That's pretty much over with. His anti-war stance is no longer anti-war. In fact, let me give you a quote here from last night. He said, my original instinct was to pull out. And historically, I like following my instincts. But all my life, I've heard that decisions are much different when you sit behind the desk of the Oval Office. In other words, when you're president of the United States. I think we got what you were saying. Yes, of course it's different. But at the same time, you promised to do something different. You promised to do something different when it came to the war. Apparently, no, you're not. What he's saying now is, hey, man, look, yeah, I promised to be an anti-war president when I got into office, and then I found out how awesome war is and how that actually helps my approval ratings when I bomb people. So, hey, let's keep doing it. Let's keep doing what we're doing, what we've been doing for the last 16 years, and drop more bombs in Afghanistan and waste more American lives. Now, withdrawal, Trump said, would dishonor the U.S. troops who died in Afghanistan and could create a vacuum that would allow terrorist networks to expand, as they did after the full withdrawal of U.S. troops in Iraq. And here's the thing, right? Whether we're there or not, there will be terrorist networks. And look, one of the reasons that they still exist in Afghanistan is because we're there. Because we're a foreign power occupying their country. So what he's saying is, look, man, I want to leave, but we can't because terrorists. We can't ever leave because of terrorists. That's what that means. We are stuck there in perpetuity to the end of time. Because if our goal is to get rid of terrorism, well, you can't bomb terrorism out of existence. It's an idea. We can't end it that way. And because of that, again, at least when it comes to the Trump administration, we're going to be there for the end of time. We continue this disastrous war, started by George W. Bush, continued by Barack Obama. And again, I've had a lot of frustration towards him for continuing the Bush doctrine. And now, of course, it's going to be embraced by Donald Trump. He is now bent to the military-industrial complex. He's surrounded by generals. And they all love war. And they all tell him, hey, Donald, you know what would be great? If you continue to attack Afghanistan. If you continue to help our defense contractor friends, Raytheon, Northrop Grumman, and the other companies. This is bad. On the issue of Afghanistan, look, we made a mess. I understand we made a mess. But you know what? We can't fix that. We have to get out. We have to get out. We got to go. We got to go. We're not going to make the situation better. We're going to make the situation worse. Worse for us. More blood, more treasure. How much have we already wasted in Afghanistan? Way too much. And we're not going to end terrorism. We destroyed the Taliban. We destroy Al-Qaeda. What's going to come next? Something worse. That's what will come next. You can't end this. This is an endless cycle of violence. And it's just going to continue. So, but he promised more attacks. We're going to attack more. We're not going to tell you. We're not going to tell them who we're attacking. And we're not going to give a lot of specific details. But you'll know. We'll attack them. So you're going to attack them. You're going to increase troop levels. So basically what we have is another surge. Okay, we have another surge. And here's some other key points during his speech that he addressed. He said that he would give military commanders the authority to act in real time and expand the authorities for U.S. armed forces to target terrorists and criminal networks in Afghanistan. So he's taking off the gloves, right? He said these killers need to know they have nowhere to hide, that no place is beyond the reach of American might and American arms. Retribution will be fast and powerful. Of course, that's him trying to be a strong man, of course, and the Republicans love that. And all the people that support war, they love that kind of talk. So I wonder if they're going to say on CNN, this is the day he became presidential. You know it's coming. He said, our troops will fight to win. We will fight to win. Wait, what does that even mean? You don't fight to lose. No, you fight to win. But unfortunately, this is not a war that you can win. It's not a traditional war. But anyway, he says, from now on, victory will have a clear definition. Well, I'd love to see that. Attacking our enemies, obliterating ISIS, crushing Al-Qaeda, preventing the Taliban from taking over Afghanistan, and stopping mass terror attacks against America before they emerge. Oh, that's sounds like a wonderful Christmas list. It's too bad that that's not going to happen. You cannot bomb that into oblivion. You cannot bomb an idea into oblivion. It doesn't work. The way that we've been fighting terror creates more terror. You're creating more terrorists, especially when you bomb innocent people, which the Trump administration has been doing far more than the Obama administration. I went after the Obama administration for their drone attacks that, yes, killed a lot of civilians alongside of terrorists. I don't care about killing the terrorists. Kill all of them. I don't give a fuck. But if you hit innocent people, you're going to create more terrorists. We shouldn't be going down this road. We need to get out. We need to get out. We're stuck there for no reason. Here's another quote. He says, we want them to succeed, talking about Afghanistan. But we will no longer use American military might to construct democracies in faraway lands or try to rebuild other countries in our own image. Those days are now over. We are not nation building again. We are killing terrorists. Now, look, that is actually one single thing that I'm like, well, hey, at least we're not doing the Bush doctrine of at least trying to rebuild another country. No, he says, look, man, he's being honest. For one time in his life where he's being honest, he's like, we're just there to kill people. Well, that's what we've been doing all the whole time. We're just there to kill people. Well, at least you're fucking honest. All right. But here's the thing, again, that whole strategy, it's repeating what we've already done. Okay? And the more you take off the gloves of the military and say that, okay, you have your own discretion, right? Well, you go down a dangerous road. And there is no doubt that there will be even more civilian casualties, which will lead to more terrorists being created. And so at some point, you got to ask, why are we still there? Why are we still there? Well, we got to kill the terrorists. Got to kill the terrorists. They're attacking America, right? No, they're not attacking America. That's the thing. They're attacking our troops, yes, and that's terrible. But you got to look at the reason. We've invaded their country. Now, I'm not saying the Taliban are great guys. They're terrible people. I'm not saying that they're innocent, okay? But look, most Afghanis there are innocent people. And most of them have no idea why there are American forces there. They think we're invading them again, just like the Soviet Union did back in the 80s. They never heard of 9/11. All they know is that the Americans are here, they're attacking us, and now there are certain people that are fighting back. What are we doing there? What are we trying to accomplish? We got to go. Now, Trump says, someday after an effective military effort, perhaps it will be possible to have a political settlement that includes elements of the Taliban in Afghanistan, but nobody knows if or when that will ever happen. It's never going to happen. We're not going to leave Afghanistan. This is endless war, endless killing, endless terror, and look, endless amounts of money being given to the defense contractors. That's it. That's Trump's plan. And as a bonus, he just threatened Pakistan. Pakistan has nuclear weapons. Wonderful. Great job. Great job. Look, there's no clear solution here. Okay? The best solution would have to have never invaded Afghanistan to begin with. We can't go back to that. But look, future note, right? Hey, before you start invading countries, maybe you should consider not invading countries. That'd be fantastic. But that said, we got to get out. There's nothing we can do to fix the situation. We got to get out. We got to get out now. I can guarantee that this will not go well. After Trump leaves office, whenever that will be, the situation in Afghanistan will still be a disaster. Why? Because, again, we're doing the same thing. The same thing that Obama did, the same thing that George W. Bush did. It didn't work then. Why would anyone ever think that it would work now? You cannot solve everything by dropping bombs, though sadly, President Trump, aided by his military advisors, by the generals that he surrounds himself with, we're going to continue to try. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.